Hi Libra, welcome to your end of June 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I'm just going to lose the chit chat and just get down to brass tacks here. Okay. So how many of you heard or are hearing back from, because I'm recording this during the Mercury retrograde, a former love during this time, or thinking about somebody that you used to be with? Because there's a theme of that here, and I did get that for another sign as well. Cancer, as a matter of fact. So if it was a Cancer, this is perfect. The heart of the matter is Knight of Cups. This is a card of an offering of love, or some other kind of soulful offering. So that could be, if you're a songwriter, this other person's like, hey, I heard that you write songs. I write lyrics. This is like the poet. Could be the composer, whatever, somebody who's in that type of work. And this type of person is very romantic. So I don't want to just limit it to relationship issues, but it certainly could be that type of person. Now, they could be literally a water sign. I mentioned Cancer, but also Scorpio or Pisces. I would say Scorpio is the least likely because of the nature of Scorpio. But Pisces is another very romantic sign. Scorpio loves very fiercely, but it's not this kind of gentle type of energy that I would associate with the Knight of Cups. Now, it could even be if you are a Reiki master and you want to go into business with somebody, that somebody says, hey, I have an office space and blah, blah, blah. You know, that kind of thing. In the past position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting that we have two Knights back to back here. This is a card associated with Taurus. It's associated with that kind of workhorse energy that a Taurus person tends to exhibit, which is very, what we would call a good work ethic, where the person, puts in their work day and they do it over. They wash, rinse, and repeat. They do it over and over again, and they might even like that kind of routine. But they're very consistent. They just do it over and over again. There's a workaholism. Well, I don't like to put it that way, but something that makes this person very dedicated to what they're doing. Knights represent movement, things happening, things that are kind of arising. So, in other words, when we talk about movement, there can be stagnation in life in general. And certainly all of us have experienced this in the past year plus, where it seemed like nothing was happening, that we were completely, our hands were tied, we couldn't do anything. Well, obviously we're seeing more movement now. So for you, this may, involve any area of life that you have felt was kind of slowing down, and now you have more available choices, people. Now, these could be two suitors, to use an old-timey word. So one of them, the Knight of Cups, who is really somebody that you're thinking about right now, has really captured your interest, is a very romantic person. They're very emotional. By the way, Knights also represent younger men. So if you are an older woman, you may be attracting younger men. Now, a Libra woman is, she's going, well, should I limit it to women? I guess not. We don't have to make it a gender thing. I'm talking about the Libra. You could attract younger men and be a man, right? So I'll just put it this way. An older person attracting a younger person can be even more likely if it is a Libra, because they tend to be well preserved. You tend to be attractive, and you want to stay attractive. That is part of your shtick, is to be attractive. So you're not going to let yourself go. And the thing that is interesting about this is that the Knight of Pentacles can be a sure thing. This person can be a good earner. They can have a good work ethic, so you don't have to worry that this person is going to flake out on their job or anything like that. And so Libra likes bright, shiny objects. You like bling, you like the high life. So a Knight of Pentacles individual can be very alluring to you because of that financial angle. And not saying you're a gold digger, but simply that you are looking for someone who enjoys creature comforts as much as you do. And certainly a Taurus person or an earth sign in general would fit that bill. They would enjoy that. Well, I would say specifically a Taurus. Capricorn would probably break out into hives, and Virgo would be indifferent. But definitely a Taurus person, because you're both ruled by Venus, so you both may have that indulgent side. Now, one thing before I continue, when I'm talking about knights and I mention about chronological age, I should really state that it can be somebody of any age, like even somebody your age or older, but they may have that youthful spirit. The knights also connect with university matters, so that might be something you're getting a job offer that is really like you're touching your soul. And even if this is involving intellectual work, it's more of an emotional, it has more emotional appeal, but perhaps the Knight of Pentacles indicates you having more consistency with something else, and you might be weighing the odds, like, can I really feel fulfilled with this other thing if it might be like more tenuous? Because if I'm, just knowing that I have this job that, all I have to do is be disciplined and go to every day, it's mine for life. If you work at a university, maybe you have tenure or something like that. And you might be saying, and I can do, like, if I'm artistic, I can do that on the side. But if I nail down this, money-making opportunity, maybe that is a better bet for me. So you might be having to decide between these issues. The higher message is the Nine of Pentacles, which is saying that you are financially well off enough to be, to consider yourself independent. And so if you're making decisions like kind of in a fear-based way, you might not be taking into account the fact that you are more independently wealthy, if you will, than you are giving yourself credit for. And so you're creating this false crisis of sorts, financial crisis that might be just something inside your mind that is not really accurate. What crosses you is the Two of Swords. So this is, I was going to joke and say this is the story of Libra's life, this sense of not being able to make a decision. But one thing to note, well, actually two things. The person is blindfolded and the moon is in the background. The moon can represent deception. The blindfold can represent denial. So it's like lying to oneself. And that can lead a person to say, oh, I don't know what decision to make, when you know there really isn't a decision. That really your situation is a lot more clear cut than you're giving yourself credit for. So, as I've stated before, when somebody is agonizing over the choice between two people, probably neither one is the right one. Libra is so impartial. I could see them saying, well, I like this about this person, that about the other person, but there's not really that strong emotional pull. And for Libra, that may be something that you discount because you're an air sign, and you might think that's primitive to go on emotion. I have to go on the intellect. My intellect is very refined. But the mind can play tricks on you, and the mind can keep you, mushrooming in, one thing after the other that can leave you even more confused than you were before. So, I think that the Knight of Cups is in the center of this reading for a reason. And I think the reason is to really see who is the person that you can grow with spiritually. That you have that sense of the two of you supporting one another. Because the Nine of Pentacles is saying you don't need another person's money to have a good life. You're doing fine by yourself. And so you would be selling yourself short if you simply looked at that angle. What's coming in is the Seven of Wands. You may be approaching your dilemma with a new vantage point and a new way of doing what you're doing. In some cases, you have to defend yourself. You have to realize that there is more to life than, like for instance, if this is a situation of financial, of abundance, that by you standing your ground and making sure that you are going to gift the world with your brilliance, you have to get rooted in yourself, Libra, which means that you have to tap into your authenticity. And this is where Libras run afoul sometimes, where you are tending to imitate another person's path. And you may use the excuse of, well, this person is my mentor or my inspiration, but you have to forge your own path. So if you're in a creative period in your life, this is about, and you're collaborating with someone, you have to, and that person might value your input, but they want to dominate the situation, then you have to be your own advocate, because it's not going to happen otherwise. When you're in a partnership, sometimes one person gets overridden. You don't want that to happen. The outcome is the Two of Cups. So it's possible that the Knight of Cups can be somebody from your past who has come and maybe apologized to you and said, I love you, I shouldn't have run the other way when we were going to get married or move in together. I shouldn't have said that thing. I shouldn't have cheated, whatever it is. And you're, maybe you're deciding, or you're having a hard time deciding whether to take somebody back. The Knight of Pentacles can be a person that you have met who is very dependable and trustworthy. But maybe you don't have feelings for them the way that you do for the Knight of Cups. And this is something that you have to acknowledge, because that Knight of Pentacles could even be like a rebound situation. So, being able to be honest with yourself about what it is that you're looking for, not getting back with somebody simply because you want that, you want some kind of fantasy relationship that can't happen. Obviously, if there was some, whatever it was that broke you up the first time, you're going to have to deal with that. You can't shove that under the rug. But yeah, like I said, Mercury retrogrades tend to bring these people out of the woodwork. Mercury goes direct on June 22nd, but when the degree it stations direct can be very powerful too. So just like when it retrogrades, so it kind of lingers, and that is the shadow period afterwards, as well as before, can be times when you see some of the same themes come up during the retrograde. So anyway, I hope that this resonated, Libra. If you would like a private reading, I do astrology readings primarily. I do tarot as well, but you can check out my offerings at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.